am Iron Man. And you just watched a very awkward opening to the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of not just the news, but answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, why is Chris's face popping out of the Iron Man mask? Well, because this was designed with a kid in mind. But, you know, I'm a kidult, and I need a smaller face. I think that's the problem. A smaller head. Hang on. This is just going to get easier if I do this. Is that as scary? Is that freaking yeah? She loves it.
Yeah.
Baby Jedi loves me in Iron Man. I don't know if anybody else does. Thank you for tuning in. I am wearing this because if you didn't notice, in my classic YouTube channel, you know, the LockerGnome YouTube channel, as you might remember it, I posted something that I did last night, the same night that I did it. I unboxed this massive box of Avengers stuff. And Hasbro sent it to me. I talked about it in the Pirillo vlog the other day. Well, actually, I don't know if I talked about it. That was one of the days that I wasn't talking. But it was in the vlog. I didn't have a chance to open it until today. Or, I'm sorry, last night. And then I've been having fun with it today, including, you know, these gloves here. And if not this, then other things. It was epic. Oh, man. Opening that box, that is the... I gotta tell you, I've seen a lot of boxes in my life. That is the most epic box I've ever seen, to the point where I'm keeping it. I'm holding it. I'm going to use it for something, and if not me, then Jedi at some point, assuming that I can get her into superheroes. She doesn't seem to mind the Iron Man thing. I walked into the bedroom last night, and I was like, hey, Jedi! And she was like, what? Yeah? Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to do the rest of the video like this. It's not really apropos. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, well, then you're really going to want to pop over to YouTube. Because, you see, we do TLDR every weekday, but the patrons, a.k.a. the Supernomies, they get to see every one of the YouTube videos. And I make the, or I guess we, my tiny team, make the Monday and Friday TLDR broadcasts public. That makes sense? You want to tune in live? You can. All you got to do is become one of the Supernomies, starting at just $2 a month. See? There you go. I promised you that I would not do the entire video like that. However, I am going to put on these. Ha! Hook! Like video! Like! See, I can move his thumb and his fingers. Mine. Look at that. Ah! I got Hulk hands. Yeah! Oh, yeah, that feels good. Hun? Woo! It's gonna be a wicked squatcha today. Wah! It's an AMA. Since it is Friday, the patrons get priority, but before I dive into answering more of your questions, I'm going to remove my Hulk hands. Just set one on the head there. Is that great? Hand on head. Forget shoe on head. I was broadcasting earlier, and I'm glad that some of you popped in on both Meerkat and Periscope. The big news today for that is that Meerkat is now available for Android, which was cool. But I gotta tell you, Periscope users are far more interactive than Meerkat users. Like, by far. By a factor of, like, 1,000. Okay, that's, you know, a guesstimate. But what's cool is that people posted a ton of screenshots from the Periscope session and the Meerkat session, and I'll be putting those in the blog. Let me go ahead and bring this box over here just to show you how epic it is. Yeah, that looks amazing, doesn't it? But wait. Oh, yes. You've got to see this. Look at that box art! Look at that! Epic! They're not selling this. They're not. Hasbro sent it to me. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Look at this. This is just so amazing. All the way down. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Every other box I've seen sucks by comparison. And you know what? I can't even say I'm a huge Avengers fanboy. You know, it's certainly interesting. I love the MCU. I like this. It's fun. I like the design of Ultron. You know, I always have been a fan of more of that type of character, or even Iron Man. Not so much the Hulk, or Thor, or Captain America, but Iron Man. Because I like characters that don't have, like, maybe human-esque faces, but not human faces. So I like robots and cyborgs and stuff like that. So I've got this epic. I'm going to hold on to that box as long as I possibly can. Oh, watch the unboxing. We'll have to link it in the video, or the description for this file. We've also posted on deals.lockergnome.com the Nexus 5 and 1 year unlimited talk and text from Freedom Pop, 33% off. And the Nexus 5 is probably one of my go-to devices for Android. And I'd say Nexus 7 too, although I don't know if you caught this news, but Google stopped producing the Nexus 7. Yeah, no more Nexus 7. Nexuses? Nexamish. The Beats P3 XL giveaway still happening at deals.lockergnome.com. Oh, and we still have the Amazon gift card giveaway, courtesy of go.tagjag.com/3 points. iOS, Android, US, UK. Hopefully you're qualifying. You're downloading sponsored apps through our referral link, and that's how you get, one additional entry, various and sundry things. So, give me a second. All right. I wanted to make sure I got this next one right. In Nori, 22,400 milliamp hour portable battery pack, 50% off. I almost said 58, but I didn't want to, give you that much. I wanted to, I really did, but it looked that from here I can't see very well. 50% off. Okay, that's clear. If I move my glasses to the end of my nose, then I can see very well. I'm at the stage in my life where I can't get, these are progressive lenses, or what do they call them? Progressives? Is that it? Like where, it's not bifocals. Bifocals is not the word. It's progressive, I think. Where like, I can see up close if I look at a certain way, but I couldn't get the prescription to match. These are Warby Parkers. I love the style of the frames, but still having problems seeing things up close. Anyway, 50% off. The battery pack, FYI, deals.lockergnome.com. And we have also got the Essentials of Information Security Kit and PC Security Handbook for free. That's right, tons of free things just for you, just for paying attention. See, there you go. So I almost said 58%, but that just wasn't the case. So hopefully I've now officially made up for it. I do need to brighten up the screen here, and unfortunately it's going to cast this blue light in front of me. Hey, I'm not a production nerd. Give me a break. Please. Next, and hopefully there will be a good break because today is Friday. Got the weekend coming up. My parents are visiting. They're going to be here for a couple of weeks. There's going to be a wedding that I'm officiating. I am going to get people married. I've even written out the whole ceremony. I don't think I can vlog it, but I am going to read after the ceremony's done. I'm going to ask for permission from the bride and the groom to be able to recite it for you. It'll be fantastic. Hang on. Liz is texting me. Varifocal? No, that's not the word for it. Thank you, Dylan, for trying, but I can't remember what it is. I love the frames, though. I didn't even... These were... because I did a sponsored campaign with Warby Parker a while ago. I didn't even buy these. The ones that I bought, I didn't want to use. Remember, I had those for a while, and no one liked them. I made the change, and everyone hated the new frames. Okay, Mitchell C. McClendon. Now we're moving on to the AMA. Now that we got all the other geeky stuff out of the way. Hello, Chris. I'm back on the iPhone, where I know that Apple deals directly with the hardware and the software on all their devices. I tried Android for a while and found out that it was not the same when it came to dealing with Android devices. It was still running Jelly Bean. My question is, do you think that this will ever change or just get worse? I think it's going to get better. I do not think it's going to get worse. I just did a video on, do I want a Samsung Galaxy S6? All the Super Nomies can watch that. I'm not going to answer that question here because that's an exclusive to them. You can become a Super Nomie, $2 a month. It's easy to do. Head over to chrispirillo.com. So in that video, I did talk about the LG G4, which of course I showcased earlier this week. I didn't unbox it because it wasn't in a box. I didn't review it because I haven't had much time with it. But it was a surprise to me with the LG G4 that it ships with, really. Here, I can pull it over. Give me a second. Oh! Can't believe I had this within arm's reach. My my workshop is finally getting cleaned up somewhat. Let me go ahead and knock it open. I do think it's fun to do that. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Knock. Oh, I forgot. I removed the battery, so I have to actually press the button. Boot it up. Are we booting up now? I was surprised to find out that it has Android 5.1, Lollipop, on here, and it's a brand new device. So, the reason for that is I think because LG, in their approach with their experience, their interface on top of this piece of hardware, isn't heavy in the sense that there's not a lot of heavy modifications made to Android. I mean, there's certain things, certain hooks that I can't eliminate, which is kind of disappointing to me because I do prefer stock Android if I have a choice. But the advantage of not really layering a whole bunch of stuff on top of Android is that theoretically they can push out the latest version of Android to. Oh, let me go ahead and I'm going to show you here. Software info. It's still kind of it's catching up. Android version. Tap 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 tap. There we go. Lollipop. Oh, I may have to dim the screen a bit. Give me a second. Easy to do. There. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? Tap, 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 tap. Lollipop. And apparently it's supposed to tap and hold. Oh, cool. It's another Easter egg. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like, I didn't know this. This is so cool. It's a Flappy Bird clone with the Android character and lollipops. It's Flappy Bird. They made a Flappy Bird clone in, am I the last person to discover this? I always sucked at Flappy Bird, though, so I expect to suck at, what is this, Flappy Droid? Flappy Android? Okay, that was fun. So, because LG didn't make a lot of modifications, I mean, they did, but it's still very clear to me that when I open, the LG G4 experience, it's very much close to stock Android, or at least Lollipop, Android 5.0 experience, or this is 5.1 specifically. So since they didn't make a lot of modifications, it's easier for them to roll out the later versions, theoretically, of Android. Because if they make a lot of modifications, well, then they got to update the modifications to be compatible with future versions of Android. So, the fewer mods that these OEMs make, I think the more you're going to see versions of Android being pushed out to latest gen devices. Samsung's taking the same approach. HTC's taking the same approach in the sense that they've got their own experiences, their own interfaces and software tweaks on top of Android, but they're scaling back, if only for performance reasons. So that was, I think, a step in the right direction, not just for experience in general, but certainly for keeping people up to date on the later versions of Android. Kind of sucks that you were running Jelly Bean. Wow. Sorry about that. Lollipop, man. If you're gonna get a new device, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like as much as I slag iOS 7 and 8, after I got used to it, and despite all its quirks, looking at a device running iOS 6 and below just seemed antiquated, quite honestly. So taking steps backwards sometimes is not a great step at all. But of course, if modifications are made, no matter what that base version of Android is, keeping in mind that Google Play Services is abstracted so that anybody would be able to download an update for Google Play Services, and a lot of Google's value isn't necessarily in the version of Android. I'm not saying that they don't have value, or 4.x versus 5.x versus 3.x, 2.x, etc. But the thing is, Google Play Services is really Google's chance of keeping people up to date, or even Google Chrome, keeping people up to date without stressing out about them having the latest version of Android. As long as they have the latest version of Google Play Services, which most people do, if not everybody, then they're usually good to go. In fact, I saw a video posted to, it must have been the Google Play Services channel. They did a funny video about the Google Play Services update. This is some random guy who was really wacky, talking about things that they updated in the Google Play Services, which would have otherwise gone into like an operating system update. So it's not as big a deal as some people make it. It's still kind of a big deal. I mean, if I have a device and I had a choice for a device, I do absolutely prefer the latest operating system, if only for bug fixes, security patches, and features. But a lot of that has been, I think, mitigated with the abstraction of Google Play Services. Steve Mannering. Hey, Steve, thanks again for this. I didn't get a chance to show this yesterday, but this is apropos. Steve sent this because he watched some of my my show and tell videos in my car. Well, not my car, I guess. The cars that I'm reviewing. Currently, I'm reviewing the Mazda 6. I just recorded the review for the electric. I want to say it's not Evo though. Why do I keep saying Evo? The electric Kia Soul. Okay, so this is a steering wheel desk, unique design mini desk that hooks to a steering wheel in seconds without hassle. Work as a writing table or as a platform for your laptop computer. Reverse side is a food tray with a drink holder. Slim, so it can fit. And now I'm going to pull it out of the box. This is probably going into a geek haul. No, hey, look, I'm Ultron. I don't know what Ultron does yet, so I'm pretending to be Ultron. This is neat. So there's a writing desk of sorts and a food tray. So the next time I do a food review in the car, if I find some fantastic fast food, I guess Taco Bell's got a new kind of taco or something. I'm not looped in on all the new fast foods, but it's weird. Like I posted the the edamame hummus wrap review from Starbucks because the video review I did on the Starbucks bacon sandwich seemed to do well. So Liz is all, oh yeah, they love anything with Starbucks. And then I post that, and it was like I posted the world's worst video to YouTube. It was horrible. I'm like, really? What the hell's wrong with people? And apparently you guys and gals like my Doritos review. So snack foods is what I'm thinking. Junk foods, the junkier it is, I think the more you want me to review it. So I'm happy to do that. Anyway, Steve says, stop spilling food in your car. Okay, I will. Thank you, Steve. I do appreciate having this now. I will be keeping it on me. Can't keep it necessarily in the car because I rotate cars like now, like every week or every other week with the review program. 2. Why are the Jedi and Sith so much more powerful in the animated shows? I.e. Clone Wars, a Force user can yank a Star Destroyer from the sky. By the time the fight between Mace Windu and Palpatine was over, the entire floor of the building should have been torn apart. Don't get me started on how wrong it was that a Jedi Master was taken down with a cheap shot. Well, here's the question. Did Mace Windu die? Was he killed? Could he come back? I wouldn't write him off. I really wouldn't. I'm not going to suggest that, you know, his story arc is going to continue, but at the same time, we could never really confirm that he died. He was pushed out, fine, but you know he still had, he was strong with the Force. You know, he could have like levitated from the ground. There's no telling. We don't know. It's a big question mark. Because there was no, finale of him like splat. You know, there was nothing like that. So I don't know. Apart from I guess it just didn't. The story didn't call for it. Apart from, them being able to get away with more in animation than they would be able to with special effects, even computer generated animation versus the type of animation we're talking about like within the Clone Wars series. So I don't know. I think it for me would boil down to it just wasn't called for in the story. What is my Sith name? I don't know if I've ever had one. I've played around with Darth something, but I never had a good Darth X. Darth, I want to say Gnome, like Nohm or something, because it sounds epic and it's not spelled Gnome, but I don't know. I haven't found a good Sith name. Darth, though. I'd be Darth. Darth something. Darth. Help me come up with a name. Steve, if you can help me come up with a name, that'd be awesome. Tony says, hey, Chris, hope you're feeling better. I am. Indeed, I am. And I think you asked a question yesterday that we addressed. You asked it in the open AMA thread in Facebook, but I addressed it in the Hangout. I missed the question being asked on Facebook. But if you saw that, I can't remember the exact question and my answer at this stage, but I did address your question. I just can't remember what it was. It may very well have been in relation to the Apple Watch. Question number 38. Are ecosystems still necessary with so many cross-platform apps and software such as Google Docs, Microsoft Office, Evernote, and Pushbullet? Could you give us an example of an advantage of using an all-Apple ecosystem besides handoff and iMessage? So, yes, if only for hardware and cross-software compatibility. So, yes, there is an advantage of using cloud-based services for storage or collaboration, because I can access them from anywhere. However, that's good for data sometimes, but in terms of actual feature set, it's much more seamless to know that my fitness tracker is way more compatible with my phone rather than my fitness tracker not being useful at all, because if I happen to be using another phone, or e.g. not an iPhone or an LG G4, because right now for an Apple Watch to work you have to have the iPhone. I do not fault Apple for that at all. Nerds will complain. Well, you're complaining to the wrong person. I don't necessarily want a wireless capability on my watch. A, because of battery life. B, because I don't want to be on my watch all day. I got through a full day yesterday, and even without like recharging it for 15 minutes when I took it off to take a shower, I would have been at 50% battery life at the end of the day. And that was after, a full day. And certainly using it off and on throughout the day. So anybody who's complaining about battery life, honestly, I'm going to say this flat out, is using their watch incorrectly. I don't think games are a smart idea on the watch. I just don't. Bad idea. Battery drain. Huge battery drain. You know, watches were not designed for you to sit there and just stare at it all day. They were designed for a glance and then for you to move on. So the Apple Watch for that works very well for default apps. I think glances are the killer apps for the Apple Watch. I even tweeted that out yesterday. So the advantage is that, yes, I could use these services so long as they support all the devices I might need. Like say Push Bullet, for example, and I don't use Push Bullet on a regular basis, though it is a great power app. It's effectively something that just turns your device and in your web browser and your entire internet experience into a power experience. Push Bullet is absolutely one of the top ones that I'd recommend. It's kind of in there with If This Then That, fantastic services that anybody could use. It's still necessary. I think ecosystems are still necessary. Apple has a story. They've got a story to tell, and it's less about that software working between all those devices. Apple doesn't just grok the software, they grok the hardware too. So knowing the hardware and the software still gives that ecosystem an advantage. It remains to be seen how well Microsoft will continue into the future with the Xbox One experience and Windows 10 devices. If anything's pushing me to an Xbox One, it's that kind of compatibility. But everybody kind of recommended the PS4 for Battlefront. I haven't decided PS4 or Xbox One, but I do want to play Battlefront, and it will likely not be on a PC. It will likely be on a console. I just don't know how, when, or really where. I don't know where I'd put the Xbox One. Not a console gamer. I'm a casual gamer. So ecosystem still necessary simply because of hardware. It's all about the hardware, man. Without hardware, you don't have software. And yes, I could have Google Docs on my phone and my iPad and in my Mac, but I don't necessarily have it on my watch. And even then, is Google going to grok the hardware at the same level? Well, let me put it to you this way. This is the advantage. This is a clear example that I pointed out in a vlog that'll be uploaded in another few days. I had to map out a destination. Went to a Chinese restaurant, new Chinese restaurant for me. It was pretty good. I had jellyfish for the first time with Josh. You met Josh a few years ago on July 4th. He had a cooker or smoker. And in fact, the picture I took on my Instagram account with Josh, he's using that as his social photo. It's kind of cool. He's been using it, I don't know for how long, but it's neat. So anyway, so I mapped it in using Apple Maps. I said, all right, this is where I want to go. And then I started driving. Well, all of a sudden I feel this, and I'm like, I look at my wrist, I'm like, whoa! The directions were piped into the watch automatically. I didn't have to do anything. Like, it was just there. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And by tap, it would tell me right or left. Now, could Google Maps do that? Possibly. Sure. But inherently, just as a part of that system, like, it just works? Not so much. So, yeah, I think it's really still essential that you have a good software experience, but that's very much tied into a good hardware experience as well. And those devices that can intercommunicate with each other beyond the software communications mechanisms, I think just create a more comprehensive experience. That's just my perspective. So the next question I'm going to address actually in a private video, Tony, if you don't mind, and you may have to remind me. Question number 40, now that you have the Apple Watch, if you have the means, what app would you create for the watch? It's a stupid app. It's absolutely stupid. I think glances are the killer app, and glances are what happens. Okay, so I've got the watch face up. I swipe down, and then I can scroll back and forth between. I've been using it for hours and hours. I'm still at 99% battery life. So it's not like I've gotten a ton of exercise either, but. Oh, actually, I guess I have. Cool. So glances they're like quick apps. So let me go here and get my heart rate, just to make sure I'm still alive. 25 minutes ago, I was 100 beats per minute. This is what happens when I do live video. Because I get, excited and I'm moving around and my arms are flailing. It's how I get my exercise. As I do live video, I'm doing this. I don't think the Apple Watch realizes I'm Italian. So to me, the killer app is going to be some kind of a glance, a killer glance that I didn't realize that I needed and didn't have. I think, honestly, it's going to be a lightsaber app. Even though the problem is, 102 beats per minute, because I'm active. I'm like doing this stuff. I'm excited. So if I was just sitting still, it'd definitely be a lower heart rate. So the what I want is like the ability to go psh, and then have it do like a lightsaber. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Hang on. I'm just gonna give you some audio examples here because that was just really lame. There we go. Did you hear that? That's what I want to hear. So I got my real quote unquote lightsaber. So I want to hear this. As I'm like waving it around, I want to hear that. But the problem is the speaker on here, it's not designed for you to listen to things. I think Liz asked, it may have been another question from the Hangout yesterday, would you want to be able to play music on it? No! I mean, no! For one reason, and one reason alone, battery. If this thing's going to get better over time, it's going to get thinner and thinner because of battery. Battery technology has to get to that point. And the fewer things you can do with the watch, the better off you're going to be with battery life. I want something for fun, right? Just, but then have it broadcast maybe to a local Bluetooth speaker I've connected to. That'd be neat. Or the phone or the iPad because there's a louder speaker there. But it'd just be kind of fun to wave it around. The speaker's not great though. It's not designed for you to... That's my version of like listening to music. That's what I do when I listen to music, by the way. If you wonder, like, what does Chris look like when he's listening to music? Because you never actually see me listening to music. I have no idea if I'm in the beat. Someone can animated GIF this. Get on it. I'll retweet you. This is Chris listening to music on his Apple Watch. That's what's going on. No. Have a great weekend, he says, and get well soon. I am well. Steve Mannering, regarding the picture you posted, you are yelling that we all have a limit of 5 question. Wait. You are yelling that we all have a limit of 5 questions or getting excited about Subway $5 footlongs. The picture. What picture did I post? I must have posted a picture. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. You can ask more than 5. I think Steve's joking around, but I may have missed the joke. Joe Tashi asks, did you try the Avengers cereal? Yeah! That video's been posted. My taste test of the Avengers cereal has been posted to my classic channel. Also, did you see the a Veggies parody and Star S'mores from Sesame Street? Yes and yes. Sesame Street's on a roll. An epic roll. I've not... Actually, I take that back. No and yes. I know of the Veggies parody. I haven't seen it yet. My plan, by the way, because I know people are going to ask, are you going to see the Avengers too? Yes, but not this weekend. So it'll happen next weekend. Until then, I will be content in running around the house with my Hulk fists and Iron Man garb and other things that I got in the package that I'm not going to talk about right now. Okay. Joe Tashi asks, did you try the Reese's Oreos? I think we did. The peanut butter were in the they were in the peanut butter not cups. Peanut butter Oreos. They were part of the Oreo taste test. Yes. I'm excited. I'm not angry. Very rarely do I get angry. Sometimes I get angry. Had that nerd rage yesterday for the comics from Marvel. That was really upsetting. Joe asks if I play any instruments and have tried buttered coffee. I want to try buttered coffee. I really do, but I guess you need a certain kind of butter. I haven't looked into the instructions on how to do it with an AeroPress. Do I have any Wi-Fi dead spots in my home? I do not. Well, at least where I normally use them because I've optimized the network. Do you have anything special planned for May 4th? Not yet. I'd like to possibly get around to stores because a lot of stores are celebrating, like Toys R Us is celebrating. I don't know if like Target is. Disney Store is possibly celebrating. I'll be wearing my Vader onesie on May the 4th because, you know, I wear my Vader onesie on my special days. Your birthday and Jedi's first birthday. Nothing really special planned yet. Sorry if this is so random. Thanks, you're the best. You are the best, Joe. You're absolutely the best. And I appreciate you. He also says to have an awesome day. I will, but only because you're with me. Hey, Chris. Ben Kirk asks, just wondering where the domain go.tagjag.com came from. I don't recall you ever mentioning its origin. It was originally... This is actually an interesting story. If you go back into the archives, I hired a guy, he wrote a script based on something that I was thinking about for a service that would aggregate tags. It'd be like a tagregator. So to do it, and this was back in the day, it was long before the iPhone, you had to key in certain codes to get to information, like T9. And so I typed in, or the domain was gotta be, GADA.be. And I created this, effectively created the service. He developed it. He now works and got the job at Instagram before the acquisition. Yeah. He went on to bigger and better things. Anyway, so I had Gotta Be, and it was really awesome back in the day. Unfortunately, a lot of people just had a difficult time remembering what the hell it was, and so I basically rebranded it as tagjag.com because it made more sense. Tagjag. And so then it was the same experience. We updated the design. It aggregated tags, and that lived on for a little while. And ultimately, TagJag, I just couldn't support it, and I don't know a lot of developers, and it just it died effectively, and that was really disappointing. So I'm just not a developer, and that's the story of my life. So effectively, all it turned into, I just used go.tagjag.com. At the time, the TagJag service was still alive, to be able to redirect people. Like it was a personal short URL referral creator thing. And that's been nice. It's been absolutely nice to have. So yeah, that's the origin of tagjag.com. So it's easy to say too. So I can say go.tagjag.com or even tagjag.com. Tagjag. That's it. Tagjag. That's it. Easy to say. So instead of me saying bit.ly/8 uppercase A B47 3QM silent Q4B7 /RMP4D lowercase s. See, it's tagjag.com/whatever. I don't think that exists. Anyway, thank you for asking all these questions. I am going to scoot into the patron-only hangout now. And, we're going to be doing some general tech talk. You're more than welcome to join us. Of course, that's just for patrons, but everybody's welcome to become one of the patrons, starting at just $2 a month. And I'm going to be answering more questions, general tech talk, or not tech talk. Because I'm setting the topic. I'm saying, hey, what you guys want to talk about is what it is. I'm down for talking about tech, because that's the Friday topic there. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.